Hey everyone, this is Foxx from modelmaking.guru here. Hello! We're back with another video build series, and this is a series of one part. And what are we going to be showing you today? Well, today we're going to show you something very special. Can you hear that? We're going to show you how to make the perfect pot noodle. Yes! Right, it's a very simple build, but there's a very specific way of doing it. You will need your pot noodle. This is a king size pot noodle. Normal pot noodles are about this tall. You will need, now I haven't actually got any, it's a major fail, but you will need some absolutely proper real butter. But if you can't get some I can't believe it's not butter will be absolutely fine. No product placement here, I just happen to have that. I'm not being paid to do this. This will be just about fine. It's about as close as you can get to butter that's acceptable in this build. Don't use margarine or anything like that. That's just rubbish. Use proper, real, honest to goodness butter, or I can't believe it's not butter. You will need a plate with 3 slices of soft white bread. Brown bread, whole grain bread, anything else, nah, don't need that. You will need some proper soy sauce, dark soy sauce, proper dark soy sauce, not light soy sauce, because that's just made of salt and horrible. Dark soy sauce. If you're in the UK, you can try 2 of the best ones at Amoy, and I don't know if this is Blue Dragon or it's just Blue Dragon lookalike. There's one called Blue Dragon. Basically just dark, make sure it's dark soy sauce. It needs to be basically a bottle of MSG with some other stuff thrown in. You will need a kettle. Boom, boom, boom. It's so big I can't get it in shot. A kettle filled with the waters, which are going to be boiling. And I'm also going to need one more thing. The fork of happiness. Right, so how do all these go together? I was actually going to show you my spinning pot noodle fork where you press the button and the fork spins around like that. But unfortunately I can't find it. So that would have been a great little comedy moment, but it's failed. So what do we do? Right, let's get these bits ready. First thing you need to do is move that out of the way. First thing you need to do is open your gorgeous, stonking gorgeous, filthy snack. Very simple. Pull back the tab, peel in one go. You can see there some wonderful content. Now there is a very important thing you need to do. You need to take this little sachet of soy sauce. Is it soy sauce? Yeah. Take this sachet. What you need to do is, first thing, just lick all the powder off the sachet. Brilliant. So you've licked all the powder off the sachet, throw that away. It's crap, don't need it, it's rubbish. Have a read inside the lid. Sometimes there's something amusing, sometimes there's not. So we now have our pot of dried crap, basically. Shit noodles, chicken that's actually soy, and little vegetables and herbs and spices. Okay, now, there's one more piece of kit we need. We need a pen. Now, you will see on, or you used to, or maybe you don't have it on the modern big ones. Anyway, basically there used to be a fill line, which was effectively this part, this little ridge here. So this is where they say you should fill the water to. Now it's not marked on here for some reason. What you actually want to do is ignore that and actually mark the top of the noodles. So the top of the noodles is about there. This is where you will be filling your waters to. The fill line is this little ridge in here. Ignore that. Don't ever listen to the fill line. Sometimes you get these and they've only got noodles halfway up. Sometimes they're chopped to the full, to the top. So yeah, ignore that. So what you need to do is, first of all, boil your kettle, which I'm just doing now. Now this whole method will give you the perfect pot noodle. So, one other thing you can have as an accessory. It's like an add-on part. Third-party retailers sell it. It's a delicious cup of coffee. A delicious cup of coffee is always a good idea. So I'm going to have a quick slurp of this now while the kettle boils. Much better. Right, the kettle is now boiled and it's blowing steam all over my Shinanju Stein box. So what do we do? Well, the first thing we do is we take our butter or acceptable butter substitute. In this case, I can't believe it's not. We need our fork of happiness. We take big dod. And by big dod, I mean kind of that much. Yeah, you can hear those arteries hardening. Get in. You apply this to the pot noodle. It will stick to the side, so simply, yeah, scrape it off. Then take your fork and, pushing the butter to one side, make a little hole in the middle and push down with your fork, thusly. Work your way down. Now you have to be careful because it's very easy to crack the pot or push it through the bottom. Now you notice how the noodles drop now you've done that. They go down to a lower level. This is why you can't use the fill line. If you filled it to there, you'd have soup, and soup is rubbish and for girls. This is a pot noodle and it's manly and hardcore. So now we will take our boiling water from the kettle of boiling water and we will fill to the top of the noodles and we'll pour it over the butter. Now I know you can't see this. Unfortunately I left my camera mount and stands and stuff. So I've filled it to the top of the noodle and you watch how the water disappears down. So don't just fill it all in one go. Fill it a little bit, let the water go down. Fill it again to the top of the noodles. The water will percolate its way down. And then fill it once more to the top of the noodles. Yes, I left my camera stand and stuff somewhere, so I can't. I'm using a bit of a cobbled together thing, and I've only got this one camera angle. So now we have delicious gloopy goodness where the water comes to just the top of the noodles. You have to do it in a couple of goes because it'll just be nothing otherwise. Right, give it a good hearty stir. Get that fork in there, right down to the bottom. Get all the dust and debris and detritus from the bottom. Now you'll notice this is the one downside of pot noodles. By the time you filled it and everything else, you don't get that much. It's a bit of a rip-off in a way. Proper, you know, Japanese ramen noodle pots just tend to stay full. But you take your look with these. Sometimes they're full, sometimes they're half empty. Get this butter off the side. I'm giving that a good munge around, and I'm going to put it to one side for a few minutes. Now the next step. Take your breads. Take a strip of breads. Strip of breads. Basically, you want to roll this into a little ball. The biologists among you maybe refer to this as a bolus. I find that more amusing. Take another strip. Create another bolus of happiness. I'm using that phrase now. Bolus of happiness. That one I can just fold into one. Big giant bolus. And repeat. That's probably too long actually, but never mind. And now I've not used my usual bread here. This bread is a bit crumbly. The shop was sold out of my normal Warburton's white loaf. If you're in the UK, that is the best loaf to use. The orange packet Warburton's white loaf is just by far the best. It's soft, gentle and foamy, but keeps its consistency and doesn't fall apart when you scrunch it into a bolus of happiness. So we are making our little bowl eye, if that's a real... Tell you what, also don't talk with your mouth full. Now this bread isn't actually that great, so bit of a fail on that one. So yeah, Warburton's white sliced loaf in the orange packet if you're in the UK. Now we've made our little bowl eye. Let's go back to our knot poodle. Still stodgy. When you put your fork in and munge it around again, so about 2 minutes, you'll feel it's a bit crispy still in places. So give it a good munge. Get the fork right in the bottom. Get some spreading action going on there. Ooh, I didn't want to say that. Right, so we're going to leave that for another few minutes. Sat for a couple of minutes. Give another quick munge around. You can feel now, well you can't, but I can. Good God, can I? You can feel now it's a lot softer and more squidgy. And look at the stodge on that. Oh. Oh. Right, so now the next part. We need our dark soy sauce, not light soy sauce. And you will need Can't know where I can get this in shot really. You will need approximately that much. By that much I mean as much as you want. It's entirely optional. Oh god, I love soy sauce. So, soy sauce is in. We will now give it another munge. Munge. Now you can add other things if you wish to. I do sometimes add perhaps some sweet chili sauce as well, just to give it a bit of a zing and a bit of a sweet flavour. Whoa, look at that. You could add some Nando's peri peri chicken marinade. I actually use that stuff as a sauce. It's fantastic. Right, so I'm going to leave it to set for another couple of minutes just to stodge up even more, and then we're ready for action. Right, so this is sat for a few minutes now. We are ready to roll. So how do you use these little boli of happiness? Dead easy. Take your fork of happiness. Get the plate here so you can see. Apply the bolus of happiness to your fork of happiness. Now, as I said, this bread is a bit crumbly, it's a bit crap, so it may fall apart. Take your knot poodle. Apply. Get right to the bottom. Munge around. Get a big ball of noodles and filth and bread and happiness. And what you do, basically, let's do that once more just so you get it right. Take your bolus of happiness, your fork of uber happiness, apply one to the other. It's snap fit, it's dead easy. See how it's all naturally weathered as well. Apply to pot with maximum scoopage and mixage. You get all the dusty stuff at the bottom. And then very carefully, what you allow. And that is how you make the perfect pot noodle. Now, what I need to go and do is finish all this because it's very important that you eat it as soon as it's ready. Because if it goes stodgy, it's all right. You can actually, it's actually quite nice, cold and stodgy, but not with the bread. If you were to get 2 pot noodles, make them, put them into a different container, and leave them for half an hour, it will be a great cold stodgy snack. But because this is still hot, I need to go and eat it. So basically, bye.